Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly Law of Attraction video for the week of December 4th, 2016. Welcome to the holidays. And if you haven't seen my weekly Law of Attraction videos, I use 3 cards. This is just an example. The first card represents where you are, the second card represents where you want to be, and the third card represents what you need to do to get there. Okay, so this is the most important card in this reading because it is actually gives you guidance and action items or action insight on what you need to do to be able to get what you want. Now again, this is very high level. It's just for a week, so we're not talking about major life decisions here, major life altering decisions. We're just talking about, as you go through the week, what are some things that you can kind of keep in mind to help you if you get into any sort of situation where you might need to make some decisions. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and also again, if you haven't seen these, below this video there's a link to order a reading from me. You can order a monthly love reading or a 2017 annual love overview, that's what you can order. And then also below that are the timestamps for each of the signs, because this video is roughly an hour and 20 minutes long. And so you can just skip right ahead to your sign and just look at that if you want. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, Aries, Aries, Aries. Law of Attraction for Aries, the week of December 4th. Okay. This is where you are, where you want to be, and how to get there. This is clear, Aries. This is very clear. The Death card, where you are. You're wanting some sort of big change or something to come to completion this week, okay, or something to transform this week, maybe evolve. So your goal this week or something has ended or is evolving. So you're kind of looking at this. This can be very positive because it's the end of a phase and you're moving into something else. Okay, this could be your love life. This could be work related. This could be a contract closing, or even just something deciding to make, a major purchase and you finally decided to, and you're going to go enjoy it. Okay, so something is ending, something is beginning, something is transforming. Okay. Now what you want, Aries, we have the 8 of Wands. This indicates that you want swift movement, okay? You want things to progress. And this is very clear because here with the Death card, something ending, something beginning, you're wanting that change to come swiftly. You want swift communication, swift decisions, all right? You want this result to come to you quickly. Now, even more clear and even more perfect is this action card that you have, and this is the Empress. Okay, this is the perfect card for this scenario in this reading because this indicates that you have the power to make the change, Aries. This change that you're wanting, it lies in your hands. Okay, the Empress works tirelessly. She's excited. She's always invigorated with new ideas and like a breath of fresh air with the energy behind it to go through and make the change. Okay, so definitely the change can come swiftly. You're the one in charge of making it happen. All right, thanks so much, Aries, and enjoy your week. Hi Taurus, how are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Let's get started with your weekly Law of Attraction video. Taurus, Spirit and Universe. What are the messages for Taurus this week? I'm going to leave that card out, which I rarely do. The Emperor. This is what is. This is what you want. This is how to get there. All right, Taurus. What is the Emperor? Okay. Something magnificent, significant is happening in your life this week, all right? Some major change, some major decision, all right? This could be in terms of you putting forth the energy to make major adjustments to your life, all right? The Emperor is a fiery energy. It actually is the card of Aries. So you or somebody in your life may be taking on these traits and it's impacting your life, most likely for the better, all right? Because the Emperor always likes win-win situations, and he works very hard, and he's very positive and optimistic, and he has a whirlwind of fiery energy behind him to push him forward, all right, to make sure that things get done. So this is currently happening for you, Taurus. What you want to have happen, and this is very interesting and related to the Emperor, Taurus, you want the King of Swords. What does that mean? The King of Swords represents somebody who is more strategic, okay, more thought. The actions are based more off of planning and analysis and strategy, all right? So you may be feeling that things are maybe out of control a little bit for you this week, Taurus, because everything is just being pushed and being forced, which is good because it gets things done, but you might be a little stressed out because you're actually wanting a little bit more analysis and planning on the back side or on the front side of it, to make sure that, one, things get done, and two, that they're done correctly and big mistakes don't happen. All right, so you're wanting a little bit more planning and analysis before we rush in and make changes. Now, how can you get there, Taurus? This is very interesting. This is your action card. The Ten of Pentacles means, okay, success and joy in material and financial happiness. All right? This could indicate that maybe adding somebody to the team or throwing a little bit of money at the situation will force the additional strategy and analysis in what you're wanting to happen. Okay? It's looking like this is going to take a little bit of money, all right? Or a little bit of bribing or, greasing the situation in order to force this analysis, because right now it's just all fiery and energy and stuff's getting done. That's great, but you're wanting to slow down a little bit and kind of double check everything, okay? All right, Taurus, I'm interested. Leave your comments below because I'm interested about this for you this week. Since we're in the swing of the holidays, I don't know if there's lots of stuff wrapping up at work. This doesn't seem like it would be love-related at all for you this week. Anyway, okay. Thank you so much, Taurus. Enjoy your week. Hi, Gemini. How are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Welcome to my channel. Let's go ahead and get started with your weekly law of attraction video reading. Okay. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice and energies that you have for Taurus this week regarding what they want to accomplish and attract into their life? Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Law of attraction for the week of December 4th. Gemini's goals and accomplishments. Okay. All right, Gemini, this is what is. This is what you want. These cards are so beautiful, aren't they? This is how to get there. All right, Gemini, this is all you. So the current situation, whatever it may be for you, in terms of career, finances, love, relationships, activities, all right, life strategy, life goals, whatever is going on for you this week and whatever is kind of taking the precedent this week for you, it's a new beginning, okay? Something is new, or you've actually had some major clarity coming towards you, or you've had some major clarity to you about a situation, okay? Again, whether it be career, finances, love, anything. there's a big new beginning and everything seems very clear to you now. All right. Now, again, you're an air sign, so you're ruled by your thoughts and your ideas, and that's what the swords represent in the tarot deck. And the Ace of Swords means a new beginning. Now, it also means great force going towards something. So this change that's happening, this decision that's being made, or this new beginning that you now have clarity on is, one, it's important. Two, there's a lot of energy put in front of it and behind it, okay? But your mind is clear about where you are with regards to it. Now, what you want, we have the Judgment card. You are wanting some sort of finality and outcome to the situation, okay? So something is new, something's starting, something's fresh, but you don't want to sit in limbo with this new energy. You want a resolution, okay? You want to make a decision. You want a final outcome. You want a renewal, okay? You have the renewal. She's actually facing the sword, which means you have the renewal. You just want some finality to it, okay? Now, interesting. This is very interesting, Gemini, because this third card, which is the action card for you, this is what you need to do in order to obtain this clarity, this judgment, not clarity, judgment, this final outcome, is represented by the Three of Wands. And this card means that, one, you've done everything that you can do with respect to the situation, okay? Now you have to wait. You cannot force things. So yes, you want a final outcome. Yes, you want a renewal. Yes, you want a decision, okay? But sometimes you don't get things in the time frame that you're wanting. Just because it's clear to you doesn't mean it's clear to everybody else involved. So this card is a card of patience. It's a card of waiting. But it's also a card of success and mercantilism. So this means that you've done everything you can do. Everything's moving in the right direction. It just may take a little bit longer than you're anticipating. All right, so just be expecting it to not wrap up this week, maybe early next week. Okay? All right, Gemini. Well, leave your comments below because I'm actually curious about the specifics of what this is for you. I'm interested to see if it's very clear, this message is very clear for you this week. All right, Gemini, thank you so much. Hi Cancer, how are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Welcome to your weekly Law of Attraction reading. Let's go ahead and get started. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice that you have for Cancers with respect to their goals and their actions and what they're wanting to bring forth in their life this week, the week of December 4th? Spirit and Universe, what messages do you have for Cancers regarding the Law of Attraction in their life this week? Okay. All right, Cancers. This is what is. This is what you want. This is how to get there. Very clear, Cancers. Very clear. I love this for you. What is the Magician? Okay, Major Arcana card, the first Major Arcana card, which is interesting, Cancer, because this means that you are on the beginning road to a completely new phase and cycle in your life, okay? At least this week. So something new is going to be some phase, and this may be something that you will not understand the repercussions until later on. But something is starting this week, and this means that you are the one that's in charge of making these changes, okay? You are setting forth something, some pathway in your life this week that is going to work towards what you're wanting, the Lovers, okay? You want that reconnection. You are wanting to find true love, or if you are just dating, you're really wanting to meet the one, or to have somebody that you're really interested in come and actually progress the relationship into a higher level of commitment. So you're really wanting the Lovers, And what I love about you, Cancers, is you're very social and you're very positive. And so that always assists, which is exactly, he has everything that in his power to do whatever he wants. Okay? Everything is at his fingertips. And he's aware that he has this power. That's the key with the Magician. So you have this, you know this, you're looking for love, or you're wanting recommitment, or you're wanting a deepening connection. This could even be if you're in a long-term bond. You're spending time with your loved one and to specifically reconnect in your bond, strengthen your bond, okay? Now, this last card is the action card. This is what you have to do this week in order to obtain and attract this into your life, all right? The Three of Cups. Simply put, socialize. Socialize, celebrate, go out with friends, eat, drink, and be merry, and have fun. And through that, it will lighten your energy, lift your spirits, and bring love into your life. Whether you're looking for new love, whether you're wanting an old love to come back, or whether you're wanting to strengthen the bond with your current love, socializing is the way to get that this week. All right, Cancer, well, thank you so much. Enjoy your week. Hi, Leo. How are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Welcome to your weekly Law of Attraction video for the week of December 4th. Let's get started. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice that you have for Leos this week in terms of what they want to attract and bring into their life? What are the messages that you have for Leo this week? Leo, Leo, Leo. All right. All right, Leos. This is what is. This is what you want. And this is how to get there. All right, Leo, what is the Queen of Swords? These cards are so beautiful, aren't they? What is the Queen of Swords? The Queen of Swords is such a beautiful, beautiful being, okay? A woman. It can also be a man since this is a general reading, but she's very smart, okay? Swords represent air signs. So I don't know if this is somebody in your life or if you're taking on this type of personality this week, Leo, but let me move this a little bit. But try to make these so you can see them a little bit more face up. But the Queen of Swords, there we go. She's brilliant, okay? She's no dummy, all right? Very adept businesswoman, business person, all right? She doesn't get taken advantage of. She may sometimes come across a little coarse and curse, but that's just because she does not put up with anybody's shenanigans, all right? She's all business, and I don't want to say that in terms of that she doesn't have a sense of humor or doesn't know how to relax at all, okay? But right now in your life, this is the focus, okay? You're focusing on business, you're focusing on strategy, you're focusing on work. Even in terms of love and relationships and family, you're focusing on the strategy of it, okay? The analysis, the planning, all right? You're not in it just for fun right now. You're in it to help you reach your goals, okay? Now, what you want, and this is interesting in relation to the Queen of Swords, because what you want, Leo, is the Seven of Wands. And this is an interesting card because it usually means that you have to have your guard up and you have to have your defenses up. And in a way I can see that with relating to the Queen of Swords because she's so smart and she doesn't take any crap from anybody and she doesn't get taken advantage of. So I'm seeing this as you're wanting to be able to maybe stand up for yourself a little bit more. Okay? You're recognizing that in your life, at some areas of your life this week, everything's being thrown at you, and all these expectations are that you're just going to fix it, and there's not a real negotiation happening. So you're kind of feeling like you wish you're wanting to really stand up for yourself a little bit more, okay? And you generally do, Leo, anyway, in general, so I'm not worried at all, but that's what you want. You want to be able to do that more, okay? Now, how to get there? Interesting last card. This is the action card. This tells you how to get this by doing this, all right? I don't know what the scenario is for you, Leo, this week. You can leave comments below to clarify that a little bit for me, but the Nine of Swords usually means anxiety, worry, stress, staying up at night, being emotional, okay? And maybe this is indicating that in order to stand up for yourself a little bit more, or have your defenses up a little bit more, you're needing to really stay up and really think about where you stand, where the other parties stand, the other players in the situation stand, and how to kind of devise a strategic plan in developing a win-win situation for everybody. Okay? It's stressful, and you're really worried about it, but maybe just putting a lot of extra thought into it will have this result. Okay? All right, Leo, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Hi Virgo, how are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Welcome to your weekly Law of Attraction reading. Let's get started. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice that you have for Virgos regarding their life and what they want to attract into their life this week with respect to light, love, relationships, work, family, friendships, projects? What are the messages and advice that you have for Virgos this week? All right, Virgo, this is what is. This is what you want. And this is how to get there. You are the Empress right now, this week, okay? In charge, full of energy, full of ideas, full of freshness, and willing to work endless and endless amounts of hours to make your dreams come true. All right? You're all power right now, Virgo. Okay? What you want, Eight of Wands. You want swift change, swift results, swift communication. Okay? You're in the process of setting your life up beautifully so you can get exactly what you want. Okay? You're inspired by yourself, you're inspired by nature, you're inspired by divine energies, you're inspired by animals, you're inspired by everything, and you take that power and you use it to build what you want, okay? She is powerful. You just want it to come a little faster this week, okay? You're wanting end results, okay? You want something to end, something to wrap up, or something to move forward, okay? Virgo, this is the action card. This card gives you the pathway of what you need to do in order to accomplish this. Okay, in order to realize this, what you're trying to attract into your life this week, this is the action you need to take. All right? And we have the Death card. What does that mean? The Death card is a very positive card. It means that something is ending and something's beginning. It's a card of transformation. Okay, so in order to have this swift change, in order to have this swift communication, this could also mean bringing love into your life. All right? You have to allow and accept the past and embrace the future. Okay? Because it's coming, it's here, and it's beautiful, and it's going to be beautiful. It may have been beautiful, but you really need to embrace the future and let go of the past and only focus on what you're doing in the future. That will allow you to have the change, to see the change that you want this week. Okay? All right, Virgo, thank you so much. Hi Libra, how are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Welcome to your weekly Law of Attraction video. Let's go ahead and get started. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice that you have for Libras this week regarding what they're wanting to attract into their life? Money, friendships, love, work, projects, travel. What are the messages that you have for Libras this week in terms of what they're wanting to attract into their life? All right, Libra, this is what is. This is what you want. And this is how to get there. This is the action. Libra, what is right now? You have the Five of Swords. Something in your life this week is causing a lose-lose situation for everybody involved. Okay, this result of this is nobody is happy about the outcome. That's a good sign because that means that everybody wanted a different result. So that can be changed. Okay? Now, and the fact that nobody's happy about it really means that everybody wanted it to go in a completely different direction and that they would probably be willing to compromise. Okay? Even if it's a huge blow-up fight with somebody that you love, the fact that they're angry means that they care. Okay? The fact that you're so sad or you're so upset or you're so angry, that means that they care. Okay? This very well may have been a verbal battle, a battle of the minds, not a physical battle. And this could be going on at work. It could be going on with your friendships or your family or your loved ones, okay? Or your partner. What you want, we have the Knight of Wands. Libra, you want to encompass, or you're wanting to encompass this energy this week, okay? You're wanting to be able to move into the situation with ideas and thoughts and a plan of action to make changes. Okay, the Knight of Wands is a fiery energy. He swoops in. Fire signs thrive off of action. Okay? They thrive off of making things happen. So everything might be at a standstill right now, but you're wanting to be the one to go in and make the change. Okay? And you have some ideas of how you want to do that. And you really do have some ideas because one, you're an air sign. Air signs are ruled by their head and their thoughts and their ideas and verbalizing their ideas and being strategic. And the action card for you, how to obtain this, King of Swords. Okay, this means the King of Swords is ruled by, it's an air sign, and he is a sword, so he is the ruler of his mind. He's the master of his own mind. He's the master of his strategy, master of his plans. Okay? And I just love these cards because there's birds and butterflies in the back, all representing air. Okay? It's open, there's openness, it's fresh. It represents air. Okay? Breathe life into what you're trying to do by sharing and thinking and strategizing how you're going to go about making these changes. Okay? The changes can be done. Everybody wants them. You can be the master of making that happen. Okay? All right, Libra, thank you so much. Enjoy your week. Hi, Scorpios. How are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Welcome to your weekly Law of Attraction video. Let's go ahead and get started. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice that you have for Scorpios this week in terms of what they want to attract into their life? What are the messages and advice that you have for Scorpios this week of December 4th? Messages for Scorpio. All right. Scorpio, this is what is. This is what you want. And this is how to get there. All right, Scorpio. This is what is right now, the Ten of Cups, okay? Emotional fulfillment. You can be, you have everything that you need right now to feel emotionally fulfilled, all right? You have a beautiful life, most likely filled with loved ones, okay? There's no void of support and love and communication in your life right now. But what is very interesting, Scorpio, is that what you're wanting is the Three of Swords. You're actually wanting to split your energy, okay? This does not necessarily mean a breakup. This does not necessarily mean a divorce, okay? The swords represent air signs, and they also represent being ruled by the mind or ideas, okay? And there's a splitting here. You represent one, and then there's two options. This could be as simple as you wanting to maybe take on another job. Split your energies. Maybe split your energies between two people. This could be about love, okay? But you're wanting to spend time deciding what to do because you're wanting something else in addition to what you already have, which is beautiful and something that is not to be complained about. This is what people strive for their whole life. So if you already have this, be very careful what you're thinking about and be careful about how you're thinking about splitting your energies, okay? Now, regardless of that, that's what you're wanting. This card is what actions you need to take to get here. Okay, so if you are wanting to split your energies, start another job, maybe start seeing somebody else, or maybe you do want to break up with a loved one, okay? Or, separate family members or something. Maybe that's what you are wanting. The way to get there is to spend some time in solitude, okay? Thinking, deciding, and focusing on the positive. That's the key with the Hermit that a lot of people don't talk about. This card can mean silence and solitude and sadness and removing yourself from society so you can just, kind of feel sorry for yourself at times. And I'm not saying you're doing that, but I'm saying that's what this card can mean. But the very positive aspect of this card is that he's actually holding a lantern out in front of him. He's actually looking towards the past. And that's a shining star, okay? And so there's a lot of positivity here. And so that's what needs to be focused on. You can still spend time alone thinking and considering and analyzing. Yes, that's good. But, Scorpio, don't forget the positive, okay? If you really wanted to make this happen, it can, but there's ways to do it and there's ways to not do it, Especially if it's involving other people. There's appropriate, warm, positive ways to get what you want, and then there's cold and harsh ways to get what you want. So this is merely saying, spend time thinking about it by yourself so you come to the conclusion on your own without anybody else's influences. And while you're doing that, don't forget to focus on the positive aspects, okay? Or how to positively communicate what you're wanting, okay? All right, Scorpio, well, thank you so much. Hi Sagittarius, how are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Welcome to your weekly Law of Attraction reading. Let's go ahead and get started. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice that you have for Sagittarius regarding what they want to obtain and attract into their life this week of December 4th? Spirit and Universe. What are the messages and advice that you have for Sagittarius this week? Okay, this is what is. This is what you want. This is how to get there. What is Sagittarius? The Hierophant. You are seeking guidance, okay? You are looking to some professional, or taking advice of some professional or some leader to help you with what's going on this week. This could be attending a church service, talking to a pastor, talking to a rabbi. This could also indicate talking to a counselor or a therapist, or even talking to your parents, okay? You're seeking some sort of expert advice or some sort of divine intervention or divine advice to help you through, make this decision, whatever it is that you're going through this week. Sagittarius, you're looking for outside influence, okay? This can also be a card of marriage alliance, and so you may be getting engaged or planning a wedding or getting married, okay? What you want, the Sun, okay? 2 major arcana cards, so this is most likely a pretty big week for you, Sagittarius. So the Sun means material happiness, joy, success, okay? Blissful energy. And I love this card because if you look at the Sun, actually it has all of the zodiac symbols surrounding the Sun. Okay, so you're wanting success for you and everybody else. Okay, you're wanting to see life and people in a very positive light. Now, how to get here, how to get to this state of happiness, Sagittarius. We have the 10 of Pentacles. This is a card of joy also, okay? I actually equate the 10 of Pentacles to the Sun in real life because just with a financial aspect to it, okay? Because these are success, these are material happiness, these are, joy, okay? So the 10 of Pentacles, this is your action card. How do you get utter and complete joy and success? Okay. Clearly, Sagittarius, this either means you need to combine finances or earn more money or use money to pay for something that you're wanting to do that will make you very happy. Okay. Money is the answer for this week for you, Sagittarius. Money, either getting more or spending it on something that you want. Okay. That is the avenue. So, and if it's a matter of earning more, then this week focus on figuring out ways that you can add a supplemental income or that you can add more money to your income. All right? Okay. All right, Sagittarius. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Hi, Capricorns. How are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Let's go ahead and get started with your weekly Law of Attraction reading. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice that you have for Capricorns this week of December 4th? What are the messages and advice that you have for Capricorns this week? All right, Capricorns, this is what is. This is what you want. This is the action that you have to take in order to get what you want. All right, what is 10 of Pentacles? You have material and financial success, okay? All of your worries are not revolved around money. You most likely do not have any financial or material worries, at least this week regarding what you're wanting, okay? What you're wanting is the Death card. This means that you're wanting a transformation of some sort. You're wanting the past to be in the past and the future to be in the future, and you're wanting the future to be beautiful and bright and bold and mysterious and powerful and forceful, okay? You're wanting the fresh transformation to occur so you can move on with your life and be happy, okay? This could be something simple like a contract at work, okay? This could be something serious like a relationship ending and a new one beginning, all right? So you're wanting something to end and something to begin. Now, Capricorn, this is the key. This card is the pathway and the avenue you need to take to obtain this transformation. And it's clear, okay? It's clear, and it states you have to make a decision, okay? You have to remove this blindfold that she has on and face the emotional aspects that revolve around making this decision, and make it. Because once you make the decision, there's a past to that decision and there's a future to the decision. And if you want this beautiful transformation, the pathway there is to make the decision and start down that pathway. Okay? And this decision has to come from you in your mind. Okay? No outside influence. You have to really think and consider what you want, and then you have to make the decision for you. All right? All right, Capricorns. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hi, Aquarius. How are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Welcome to your weekly Law of Attraction reading. Let's go ahead and get started. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice that you have for Aquarius regarding their love life, what they're wanting to attract into their life, financial, career life, family life? What are the messages and advice that you have for Aquarius this week of December 4th? All right. This is what is. This is what you want. This is how to get there. All right, Aquarius, what is happening this week is that you're focusing on the negative aspects of a situation. You choose where to focus, okay? Yes, it might be a frustrating situation, but you also can look at the bright side of the situation, okay? There's always positive and negative energy. There's equal positive, there's equal negative. It just depends on how you choose to look at it, okay? So this is what is. You're focusing on the negative. What you want, Aquarius, is the devil. You want to be partaking in the pleasures of the flesh, and that does not necessarily mean sex, okay? You want to be kind of pulled in and tempted and to be able to really enjoy yourself, okay? Whether that be with food or drinking or friends, or it could mean relationship, it could mean sex, it could mean just enjoying the pleasures of the flesh. You're wanting that to be able to, you're wanting to be able to be pulled towards that, okay? Tempted. Now, this is beautiful actually, because where your focus is right now on the negative is very clear that you don't want to be in this state of mind. You want to be in this state of mind. Okay, so you're actually wanting to start to enjoy yourself, or be able to enjoy yourself. Okay, but you might be feeling a little guilty, and the reason why I say that is when we look at this third card, which is the action card, and how you're supposed to get to this positive place where you are being able to enjoy yourself. This card represents trials overcome. Okay, patience, trials overcome, waiting for the trials to be overcome. So you may be going through something, but you can choose to overcome that energy, that mindset, and walk towards this light, which is enjoyment, pleasure, okay, excitement. Maybe you're wanting to feel a little tied down and restricted a little bit, because maybe you kind of have been going off and feeling a little bit too free, and you're wanting that kind of home base for yourself, okay? You're liking that feeling. So the action step for you this week, Aquarius, is overcome your trials. Change your mindset, okay? This is all in your power to be able to change your mindset and move forward and stop this waiting game, this wondering game, all right? All right, Aquarius, thank you so much. Hi Pisces, how are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Welcome to your weekly Law of Attraction reading. Let's go ahead and get started. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages and advice that you have for Pisces this week regarding what they want to attract into their life? Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces. This week of December 4th. All right, Pisces, this is what is. This is what you're wanting. And this is how to get there. This is the action step. Okay, what is? Working. You're working. People in your life are working. Friends, family, relatives. They're working. They're putting their head down and they're building their life. They're building their material stability. Okay? Beautiful. That's great. Okay? What you want is to actually, instead of be the Eight of Pentacles, you want to be the King of Pentacles, okay? You want to actually obtain the benefit of everything that you're working for. Now, this is good because consistently, continuously working does build wealth. It does build security, okay? It does build freedom. And once you get there, you feel that you can open up and be generous and have free time, and you can be giving and loving and kind of act as a mentor for people, okay? So you're really wanting to get to this phase in your life, okay? And you're well on your way, well on your way. Now, the interesting thing with this for you, Pisces, is the action, okay? Yes, you can just keep working, keep working, keep working, keep working, keep working, and then build this, and then you'll obtain this level. But there's maybe a shortcut for you, or a way to add to what you're already doing that will help you get here sooner, okay? And that route for you, Pisces, is the Lover's card, okay? And I'm just very clearly going to say, bringing in, having a dual income family. So if you're with somebody and they're not working, maybe they can start going back to work, or you showing your support and love towards somebody may actually help them feel that you're being a mentor, and two, help them be more positive about the situation, and then add to the situation, add to the outcome, okay? So this is kind of an interesting reading for you, Pisces, because you're here, you're almost here. The shortcut to being here is through love, okay? It's through a partnership, a soulmate, okay? So think about that, Pisces, especially if you're on the fence with your long-term relationship, or if you guys are planning on, adding another income, or if you are dating somebody, just keep that in mind, that this full happiness, this full financial freedom and capability to be the leader, is the pathway for you is through love, okay? All right, Pisces, well, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope you enjoy your week. All right, bye.